Hey guys, my name is Matsumo, and today I'm excited to say that we've finally gotten some new information about the Year 4 DLC coming to Rainbow Six Siege, with the first season being called Operation Burnt Horizon. Now, as many of us assumed, this is going to feature Australian operators, which I know many people are going to be excited about. We kind of assumed that this was going to be the case because of a recent leak, which we'll get to in a second, but also on the new Fortress map, there is literally a projection of a picture of Australia, and so it was kind of easy to put two and two together. Now, as for the two new operators, the offensive one is described to have a gadget that is going to keep roaming defenders on their toes, and the defensive one is going to leave attackers at a bit of a loss. Now, admittedly, these descriptions are quite vague and don't really give us a whole lot of information to go off of. Obviously, the offensive gadget is going to be able to deal with roamers or make their job a bit more difficult, but for the defensive side, a gadget that will make attackers at a bit of a loss, like what in the world does that mean? Well, if we base it off of a leak that we learned a while ago, things become a lot more clear and also lends credibility to said leak. So a while back, there was a gadget that was revealed that looks like a red spider web, which you guys are seeing right now, that has spikes in it. And this, based off the description, seems like it fits this perfectly. Something that is going to make defenders watch their toes. I mean, literally, this is spikes on the ground. If they aren't watching their toes, they're going to step right on into it, and something is going to happen. What we don't know yet is what that something is going to be. It could maybe be essentially barbed wire, but for the offensive team, it could maybe do some damage. Maybe it just makes a really loud noise. I don't know why it would have spikes in it if that was true, but it could just simply be an early warning sign letting you know that a defender is trying to roam and get a flank off on you. What I find really interesting about this gadget, though, I think it's pretty clear that it is probably going to slow down or at least deter defenders to try to hit you from that flank, is that this is very, very obvious. If you're able to melee this like you could barbed wire and quickly take it out that way, I have a suspicion that this really isn't going to be that large of a deterrent. I mean, maybe if it's very loud, if you melee it, then that will be the early warning sign, letting offense know that you're trying to hit them from that angle. But if you are simply able to take it out with a couple of melee hits or just run on through, I really don't know how useful this will be. In general, though, while it's not 100% confirmed, I think based off of this description and this leak that we saw a while ago, I think this is something that we can expect with this DLC. Now, as for the defensive operator, that's where things become a bit more vague. So on the description, it says that offense is going to be at a bit of a loss. Now that really could mean anything, but with that leak, it also indicated the defender is going to have some sort of gadget that when a drone passes on through, the offensive team is no longer going to have access to it, and the defender is now going to be able to use said drone. So if you look at it from that context, that viewpoint, I guess you could say that offense would be at a bit of a loss because they're losing their drone and it's now being used for the defensive side. And so I think that also lends more credibility to this leak. And so if this is true, not only do I think that this would be a bit of a game changer, but also it's a really interesting twist on the existing gadgets and operators that we already have in the game. Mute, for example, one of his jobs is to stop information gathering. He's really about placing his jammers in key locations so that the offensive team can't get near the objective with their drones. Of course, he then has the benefit that he's able to stop people from using their gadgets and getting through reinforced walls. So that's one of the other reasons why you want to play as Mutes. With this new character, though, of course, they're not going to be able to stop people from getting through reinforcements, but they have the added benefit of not only stopping information gathering like Mute, but they're able to twist it into their favor, and now they have their own form of information gathering. They can then use that however they want. They can roam around the map with it and identify where the offensive team is pushing from. They can put it in a key location where they know there's going to be a lot of foot traffic and just simply use it as a camera. This is going to give defense a lot more tools at their disposal to gather information in a very unique way. Another thing I found really interesting about this article is that it seems like they're describing that we're going to be getting a new map with this first season. Apparently, it's going to be taking place in a service station halfway between here and nowhere, resulting in a map that is packed with twists and turns. Now, what I find interesting about this description is that when I think of a service station, I think of a gas station, and when I think of a gas station, I think of something that is quite small or really out in the open. How in the world is an entire map going to revolve around a gas station? Now, the article does come with a picture, and I will admit it has a very Mad Max vibe to it, but if we look out in the distance, you'll notice that there is a motel and a restaurant, and those are something that I would associate with a gas station. You would definitely see those nearby. And so is this map going to feature a bunch of different buildings that are kind of clumped together, that kind of network and make a complete map, or is this going to be something different? One thing we have to remember, though, is that this is the first season of Year 4, and if it's just like Year 3, we shouldn't be getting a new map. Year 3, we got Operation Outbreak, and so why are we getting a brand new map right after Fortress? Are they now going back to giving us more maps or a new map every single season? I know a lot of people might be excited about that, but that kind of goes against their policy that they implemented, that they don't want to be adding in new maps every single season, because for newer players, it gets just to be too much. Having to learn a new map every couple of months on top of all of the other ones just becomes a bit overwhelming. And so is this Ubisoft now changing their policy where they're just going to simply give us more maps, or are they just changing the cycle? What it also might be, and I realize I have no proof to actually back it up, is that this could be a new co-op mission, much like what they did with Operation Outbreak, because it is breaking the cycle of last year where they just gave us 2 new maps. Why are we getting one so soon? But also, based off of the description, like a gas station, a service station with a restaurant and a motel, like maybe this is going to be that co-op mission that people have been kind of hoping for. That is also a distinct possibility. All in all, though, I cannot wait to learn more about this content. The 2 new operators sound like they could add a lot of value to both offense and defense, and of course, I'm always down to play on new maps, which always mixes things up. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about what we discussed in today's video. How do you think the 2 new operators are going to work? What do you think this new map is going to be like? Do you think that it could be a co-op mission? Do you think that they're just simply going to be changing up the cycle and starting off with a new map? Let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, guys, until next time, have a good one and take it easy.